Josh Hart is recruiting extremely hard for the New York Knicks. Recently, Damian Lillard was on a podcast where he didn't choose the New York Knicks as a trade destination if the Blazers made him available for such a trade. Josh Hart saw this and tweeted at Dame about it. We're going to talk about that today. Also, Hart was not done there. In a recent interview with Taylor Rooks, he also noted that he wanted to play with one of his other Nova teammates. We're going to talk about that and so much more today. Let's get started. Josh Hart is recruiting Damian Lillard, and he's doing it in such a smart way. But to understand how we got here, we have to first understand the timeline of events. So this all started with Damian Lillard jumping on the Last Stand podcast, where he discussed the Knicks, the Heat, and all of the other trade destinations that he's always hearing about in these reports. Let's roll that clip.
Everybody keeps saying Damian Lillard is going to be traded to the Knicks. Damian Lillard's going to be traded to the Heat. Damian Lillard should be traded to the Celtics. Damian Lillard's going to be traded to the Nets. If one of those trades went through out of those teams, which one will you be like, that's not too bad?
Miami, obviously. Miami is the obvious one. And Bam is my dog. Bam is my dog for real. But I mean, I think Miami the obvious one. Brooklyn is obvious one. Is another obvious one because Mikal Bridges is my dog too. So I mean, and both are capable rosters.
So that's what started all of this. Damian Lillard did not choose the Knicks, but instead chose the Heat. But he also mentioned that he was close with Bam and he was close with another Nova player in Mikal Bridges who plays for Brooklyn. Now, Josh Hart obviously saw this and he tweeted the following. Damn, I thought I was your dog too. Josh Hart tweeted the following back to NBA Central, who clipped the podcast that Damian Lillard was on. Now, Dame and Josh Hart are actually very good friends. They're close. They used to play in Portland together. We just traded to Portland a first-round pick to get Josh Hart. So clearly we know the value of Josh Hart and we know what he brings to a team. And so does Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is very close to Josh Hart. They are friends. They're buddies. So I'm sure Josh Hart felt a certain type of way seeing Damian Lillard not mention his name, but mention Bam and mention Mikal Bridges. He probably thought, hey, what about me? I played with you for a few years. We did a few good things together. We maybe didn't get to the playoffs or as far as we needed to go, but I was your boy. I was helping you out. I was doing things with you. Why didn't you name me? And you know what? I love that. The New York Knicks need to cut Josh Hart 2 checks. 1 check as a player and 1 check as a recruiter. This man is going after the big fish. He didn't target all these lower cats. He said Damian Lillard, yep, that's the one I'm going to try to go after. Now, of course, he's not saying that he would give everything up to trade for Dame. But it's interesting to see and note that Josh Hart loves New York so much that he's trying to recruit other players, superstar level players, to come play at the Garden. And you know what? As a Knicks fan, I love and I appreciate that. Thank you, Josh Hart. I love it. I love it so much. But Josh Hart wasn't done there. Josh Hart is also trying to target Donte Divincenzo, and he's pushing hard for the New York Knicks to sign him. In a recent interview with Bleacher Report's Taylor Rooks, he basically stated that he was talking to Divincenzo, he's been communicating with him, and when Taylor Rooks mentioned that Divincenzo can add shooting, Hart looked like this at the camera and said, you know, he definitely can. Roll that clip.
Guys, I'm in the league. I'm the Nova guys. I'm trying to get the NY.
You like to tweet about Donte.
Yeah.
Are you trying?
You know what I mean? That's my guy. You know what I mean? I was talking to him the other day. But
the tweet, by the way, said that Donte could be the shooting that the Knicks need. So that's what's on Josh's mind, everyone.
Those are my brothers, and I hope we can share the court, for a long time and hopefully in the same uniform. But I love those guys.
Did you see his face? Did you see the face I was talking about? He's looking at the camera. He's looking at Taylor Rooks. He knows what's happening and he knows what's up. Donte Divincenzo would be a nice addition to the New York Knicks bench in terms of shooting. Donte Divincenzo hit 39.7% from downtown this season, We could have used some of that in the playoffs where we couldn't shoot anything. Besides Jalen Brunson's mid-range game, and he was killing it from 3 as well too for some games, nobody else could buy a shot. Neither could our bench. Now, if you add Divincenzo to the team, you get more scoring, and also you get somebody who can pass the ball. Look at his averages when he was playing with Golden State. He averaged 9.4 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists this season, and he played 72 games. So it wasn't like he was injured at all. And with the New York Knicks, the best thing about availability is you being on the court. So he's available for his team. He's able to get on the court and play and contribute. And his averages for playing on Golden State, a heavy guard-riddled team with Clay and Steph and Poole, it's incredible to see what he was able to do on a Golden State team that's already heavy at the position that he plays. But he was still able to contribute, which tells me that even if we bring him to the Knicks and he has a couple of people in front of him to play in front of him, that he can still carve out playing time for himself because he is a very good shooter and he can do other things like pass and rebound as well too. Former Knicks head coach David Fizdale is returning to the sidelines under head coach Frank Vogel. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, former Knicks and Grizzlies head coach David Fizdale is joining Phoenix as an assistant head coach. The Phoenix Suns are hiring David Fizdale primarily because of his history with new head coach Frank Vogel and, of course, the GM James Jones. This is going to be a great move, I think, for the Suns because now they have Frank Vogel. They have somebody who can relate to the players in David Fizdale because that was always his calling card. Even when he was on the Knicks with his positionless basketball, which gave me nightmares as a Knicks fan, especially with the roster that we had, I always felt that he was a very, very good players coach. Players felt comfortable going to him, expressing concerns, talking about things, and asking for help if they needed help on certain parts of their game. I thought he did that very well, and I thought he had a close personal relationship with a lot of players on the Knicks when he was here, and I think that's been his bread and butter everywhere he's gone. So I think this is very good for a Suns team that had some internal turmoil, especially with the Ayton situation that was going on with the contract and all of those other issues. So I think this is a good hire for the Suns. David Fizdale, not as a head coach, but as an assistant coach, I think works a lot better. And I trust Vogel to make Fizdale do the right things as an assistant coach to make the Suns a better team. I think what the Phoenix Suns are doing right now is very good. They're building a nice, stable core of coaching staff around this team with KD and Devin Booker. And I think that's going to be the two key pieces moving forward, obviously, for the Suns. And I think David Fizdale will definitely help in the communication aspect with those stars and ensuring that they get the help and the assets around them that they need to compete for a championship. Shout out to David Fizdale. He wasn't my favorite Knicks head coach, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that he found a position that he loves and he's back to coaching, something that I know he enjoys and loves. If you like this episode, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.